Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be taking a deep dive into a coin that holds not just historical value but also significant monetary worth, the 1988 Canadian 1-cent penny. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this coin has a fascinating story that may surprise you with its significance in both Canadian history and the numismatic world. If you have one of these pennies in your collection, stick around to find out its history, value, and why it might be worth more than just 1 cent. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started on this journey through the life of the 1988 Canadian 1-cent penny. Before diving into the specific history of the 1988 Canadian penny, let's first take a step back to understand the broader context of the Canadian cent itself. The Canadian 1-cent coin, often called the penny, has been a part of Canadian currency since 1858. The original penny was made of bronze and weighed more than its successors, evolving over time as both the economy and technology changed. In 1920, the penny was reduced in size and weight, and the metal content was changed several times over the years to reflect the changing costs of production and materials. By the time we reached the late 20th century, the composition of the penny was primarily zinc with a thin copper plating, which is what you'll find in the 1988 version of this coin. The penny has long been an essential part of everyday transactions in Canada, although its value has decreased significantly due to inflation. Nonetheless, for over 150 years, it played an integral role in Canadian commerce and remains an iconic piece of Canadian numismatic history. Now, let's talk specifically about the design of the 1988 penny. The design, as with most modern Canadian pennies, features an image of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse front side. This design has been used since 1965 with various modifications over the years to reflect the aging of the Queen. The 1988 penny shows a mature portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Mackin, a renowned British artist who was responsible for many royal portraits on coins. The Queen is depicted wearing a diamond tiara which was a gift from her grandmother, Queen Mary. On the reverse side of the coin, you will find the iconic maple leaf twig design, which has been a symbol of Canada for over a century. This image was first introduced in 1937 and was designed by George Kruger Gray. The simple yet elegant design of the maple leaves reflects Canada's strong connection to nature and its status as a national emblem. At the bottom of the reverse, you'll find the date 1988 flanked by the word Canada and the denomination 1 cent. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. This penny is round with a smooth edge, and its lightweight and compact size made it a common fixture in Canadian pockets, cash registers, and piggy banks. The year 1988 was an important year in Canadian history. Economically, it was a period of growth and transformation. The free trade agreement between Canada and the United States was a major talking point, as it promised to change the landscape of trade and business in North America. Canada's economy was also starting to embrace technology and modern banking practices, yet cash remained king for many small purchases. The 1988 penny itself didn't carry any special commemorative significance like some other Canadian coins from different years, but it was part of the broader circulation coins that saw frequent use in everyday transactions. However, it's worth noting that by the 1980s, people were already beginning to question the future of the penny, as the cost of production was rising relative to its face value. Although the penny remained in circulation until 2012, the debate over its utility began much earlier, making every penny from this era a small part of Canadian monetary history. On May 4, 2012, the Royal Canadian Mint officially stopped distributing pennies, and by February 4, 2013, the penny was phased out from circulation altogether. This was due to the fact that it cost 1.6 cents to produce a single penny, making it financially impractical to continue minting them. The discontinuation of the penny added a certain sense of nostalgia and historical significance to older pennies like the 1988 version. For coin collectors, this move transformed everyday coins into pieces of history, with their value increasing over time based on scarcity, condition, and demand. Now, let's talk about value. If you're wondering how much your 1988 Canadian penny might be worth today, you might be surprised to learn that, while it may only have been worth 1 cent when it was minted, Certain conditions and factors can make this coin significantly more valuable. In typical circulated condition, the 1988 penny isn't worth much more than its face value. But it's still sought after by collectors who are trying to complete sets of Canadian pennies. If you have an uncirculated or mint condition 1988 penny, its value can rise dramatically. Depending on its condition, a MS-65 graded penny, meaning it is in near perfect mint state, can be worth up to $10 or more, particularly if it has been preserved well with no signs of wear or corrosion. While the 1988 penny doesn't have any widely known rare varieties, errors during the minting process, such as double die strikes or off-center strikes, could significantly increase the value. These kinds of errors are rare, and collectors will often pay a premium for coins with such mistakes. While the 1988 Canadian penny might not seem like a big-ticket item now, its long-term value lies in its historical significance and the fact that it represents a piece of Canadian history that will never be produced again. As time goes on, pennies from the era before the coin's discontinuation will become increasingly scarce. Collectors are already paying more for higher quality specimens, and that trend is likely to continue. For now, if you have a 1988 penny, it's worth holding onto. Who knows, in 10, 20, or 30 years these coins may become even more valuable as part of a larger collection or as individual historical artifacts. The 1988 Canadian 1-cent penny is more than just a small piece of copper-plated zinc. It's a piece of history, a collectible item, and potentially a valuable part of any numismatic portfolio. Its rich history, beautiful design, and the fact that the Canadian penny is no longer in production all contribute to its growing value. So, if you have one of these pennies in your possession, treasure it. You never know how much it could be worth one day. Be sure to leave a comment below if you've got a 1988 penny or if you're looking to start your own collection. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the channel. Thanks for sticking with us through this journey into the history and value of the 1988 Canadian 1-cent penny. Make sure to subscribe for more coin videos, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the next valuable coin in your collection. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. In today's episode, we'll be taking an in-depth look at the 1989 Canadian 1-cent penny. Whether you're a beginner collector or a seasoned numismatist, this coin has plenty of fascinating history and value that might surprise you. We'll explore its design, its historical background, key details about its minting, and the potential worth it holds today. Stick around to learn how this seemingly ordinary penny could be a hidden treasure in your collection. Before we dive into the specific details of the 1989 Canadian penny, let's set the stage with a broader look at the history of the Canadian 1-cent coin. The Canadian 1-cent penny was first minted in 1858, when Canada was still a British colony. Over the years, it has gone through various changes in its size, metal composition, and design. The penny has long been an essential part of everyday Canadian commerce, representing small change for over a century and a half. However, what started as a copper coin eventually transitioned through various metals as the cost of production and materials fluctuated. By the 1970s, the penny's value in day-to-day transactions began to dwindle, and discussions about its future were already beginning. Though it remained in circulation, inflation had greatly diminished its practical worth. This leads us to the 1980s, when pennies like the 1989 edition were minted, carrying both history and a lingering sense of nostalgia. In 1989, Canada was a rapidly developing nation, building on its reputation as an economic and cultural force. The country had solidified its identity through international trade, culture, and politics, and the penny was still widely used in daily transactions. However, as inflation eroded its buying power, it became a symbol of the nation's gradual shift away from small denominations. The 1989 Canadian penny was minted during a time when Canada was preparing for the future, and little did anyone know that the penny itself would one day become a collector's item as its utility faded over time. On the obverse side of the 1989 penny, you'll find the iconic image of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Mackin, one of the most respected coin designers of the 20th century. The portrait of the Queen was first introduced in 1965 and continued until 1989, depicting her in a younger and elegant profile, wearing a tiara. The obverse side includes the text Elizabeth II DG Regina, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. The reverse side of the penny features the beloved maple leaf, Canada's national symbol. Designed by George Kruger Gray in 1937, the maple leaf image remained a hallmark of Canadian coins for many decades. The year, 1989, is inscribed above the leaf, and the word Canada sits below. The mint mark is also prominently displayed. The simplicity and beauty of the design pay homage to Canada's natural environment, national identity, and pride. The 1989 Canadian penny was made from 98% copper, 1.75% zinc, and 0.25% tin. This composition was consistent with Canadian pennies produced from 1942 to 1996, after which the metal content changed to predominantly steel to save costs. The 1989 penny weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 mm. Copper has always been a crucial material in Canadian pennies, but the rising price of copper made production increasingly expensive. Although it was still affordable in 1989, this era marked one of the final stretches of traditional copper-based pennies in Canada. The Royal Canadian Mint, headquartered in Ottawa, produced the 1989 Canadian penny. The Royal Canadian Mint is renowned for its precision and craftsmanship, and the 1989 penny is no exception. With millions minted that year, this coin saw extensive circulation across the country. In total, approximately 659,444,000 1-cent coins were minted in 1989, making it a relatively common penny in terms of numbers. Despite this, its scarcity has increased since Canada stopped producing pennies in 2012, turning it into a sought-after collectible. As mentioned earlier, the penny was officially discontinued by the Canadian government in 2012 due to its rising production costs and declining utility. The move to eliminate the penny made all previous pennies, including the 1989 version, more valuable to collectors. Today, finding 1989 pennies in circulation is rare, and their value has increased as a result. As of its minting in 1989, the penny had a face value of just 1 cent. However, its value to collectors today is a whole different story. The current value of a 1989 penny depends on various factors such as its condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. Here's a breakdown of the potential value. A 1989 penny that has been heavily circulated will likely be worth only a few cents over face value. However, given the scarcity of pennies in circulation post-2012, even circulated versions can fetch more interest. In mint state or uncirculated condition, these pennies can be worth anywhere between $1 to $5 or more. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional numismatists command premium prices. Some 1989 pennies may also have unique minting errors, double dies, or other anomalies, which could make them worth significantly more. Error coins are always of high interest to collectors due to their rarity. Beyond its monetary worth, the 1989 penny has significant historical value. It serves as a reminder of a bygone era when pennies were an integral part of everyday transactions. Many Canadians have fond memories of using pennies for small purchases, giving them added sentimental value. The decision to discontinue the penny was not an easy one for Canada. However, by 2012, the cost of producing a single penny exceeded its face value, and inflation had made the coin largely obsolete in commerce. As Canada transitioned into a cashless society, the penny became more of a nuisance than a necessity. However, the discontinuation of the penny had an unintended consequence. It skyrocketed the value of older pennies, including the 1989 edition. As more people began to collect them, their worth gradually increased. Though no longer in circulation, the penny remains an enduring symbol of Canada's economic and cultural history. Collectors and coin enthusiasts continue to preserve the legacy of these coins, ensuring that they remain an important part of Canada's numismatic history. Now that you know the rich history of the 1989 Canadian penny, you might be wondering how much it could be worth today. As of 2024, depending on its condition and whether it has any unique characteristics, your 1989 penny could be worth anywhere from 25 cents to $10 or more. Here's how to assess your coin's worth. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins that have remained untouched in collections, especially those in mint state, can fetch impressive prices. While millions were minted, finding an uncirculated 1989 penny in near-perfect condition can be challenging, increasing its rarity and value. Always keep an eye out for minting errors. A coin with a rare die error or double die could dramatically increase in value, often reaching up to $50 or more depending on the demand. The 1989 Canadian 1-cent penny may seem like a simple coin at first glance, but its rich history, beautiful design, and evolving value make it a must-have for collectors. With pennies no longer in circulation, these small pieces of copper have become a window into Canada's past, with each one telling a unique story. Whether you're holding on to one for nostalgia, history, or its growing worth, the 1989 penny proves that even the smallest coins can have big value. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth videos on fascinating coins. Who knows? You might just have a treasure hiding in your coin jar. See you next time. Welcome back to MY Channel, where we explore the fascinating world of coins. Today, we're diving into a piece of Canadian history that is often overlooked but holds immense value for collectors and history enthusiasts alike: the 2009 Canadian 1-cent coin. This coin, which is part of Canada's long-standing penny tradition, offers more than just a nominal value. In this video, we will explore its rich history, understand its intricate design, delve into its rarity and value in the collector's market, and discuss its big potential worth in the years to come. The Canadian penny has been in circulation since 1858, making it one of the most iconic coins in Canada's monetary history. However, the 2009 edition of the 1-cent coin stands out for several reasons, which we will cover shortly. First, let's take a journey back in time to better understand the context in which this coin was minted. The Canadian 1-cent coin first appeared in 1858, when Canada was still a British colony. It was modeled after the British penny but tailored to the specific needs of the Canadian economy. The penny underwent several redesigns throughout the years, but one of the most consistent elements remained Queen Elizabeth II's portrait on one side, reflecting Canada's ties to the British monarchy. Fast forward to the 21st century, and we see the 1-cent coin continuing to evolve, even as Canada's economy and currency system modernized. Despite the rise of digital transactions and inflation diminishing the purchasing power of the penny, the coin remained a staple in everyday life. By 2009, the Canadian penny had become more of a symbolic coin than a practical one. Production costs for the penny were becoming too high. Each penny cost more to produce than its face value of 1 cent. In fact, by 2009, it was reported that the cost of producing a single penny was approximately 1.5 cents, meaning Canada was losing money by continuing to mint it. However, the 2009 penny is particularly notable because it was one of the final years before the Royal Canadian Mint announced the discontinuation of the 1-cent coin. In 2012, Canada officially stopped distributing pennies, meaning the 2009 version was among the last batches to roll off the production lines. One of the aspects that make the 2009 Canadian 1-cent coin stand out is its design, which encapsulates both tradition and modernity. The 2009 penny is made of 94% steel, 1.5% nickel, and 4.5% copper plating. This composition was introduced in the late 1990s as a cost-saving measure since copper prices were rising. On the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Canadian artist Susanna Blunt. This design has been in place since 2003 and marks a significant departure from earlier depictions of the Queen, which presented her wearing a crown. Blunt's design, however, portrays Queen Elizabeth II without a crown, giving her a more approachable, humanizing appearance. This design symbolizes Canada's growing sense of independence while still honoring its ties to the British monarchy. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic maple leaf twig, a design that has been in place since 1937. The maple leaf is not only a symbol of Canada but also a nod to its natural beauty and resources. The design was created by G. Kruger Gray, and its simplicity and elegance have made it a favorite among collectors. The 2009 penny also includes the inscriptions Canada, the year 2009, and the coin's denomination of 1 cent. This traditional design, combined with the steel core structure, marks the coin as a unique blend of Canada's past and future. While the face value of the 2009 Canadian penny is just 1 cent, its true value extends far beyond that in the eyes of collectors. Given that 2012 marked the end of penny production, many collectors and numismatists look back at the final years of the penny with particular interest. The 2009 penny, therefore, represents one of the last chances to own a piece of history before this coin was discontinued. The Royal Canadian Mint struck over 400 million pennies in 2009, which might seem like a large number. However, the penny's discontinuation only a few years later means that many of these coins have been taken out of circulation, lost, or melted down for their metal content. As a result, finding a 2009 penny in excellent condition can be more difficult than one might expect. The value of a 2009 penny depends heavily on its condition, also known as its grade. Coins in circulated condition, those that have been used in everyday transactions, tend to have only a modest value. However, coins in uncirculated condition, those that were never used and remain in mint state, can fetch much higher prices. Most 2009 pennies in circulated condition are worth between 3 and 5 cents, a slight premium over their face value due to their historical significance. Coins that are in mint condition, showing no signs of wear and tear, can be worth anywhere from $1 to $5 depending on the quality and demand. Certain 2009 pennies may have minting errors or other unique features that increase their value significantly. For instance, coins with double dies, off-center strikes, or other imperfections can be worth up to $50 or more. Many collectors believe that the 2009 Canadian penny could increase in value over the coming decades. As time goes on, fewer 2009 pennies will remain in circulation, particularly those in uncirculated or mint condition. Additionally, as the penny becomes more of a historical relic, interest in collecting these coins may rise. With the penny no longer in production and the number of surviving 2009 pennies dwindling, scarcity could drive up demand. As younger generations grow up without ever having used pennies, there may be a surge in nostalgia-driven collecting in the future. While currently, the 2009 penny might only fetch a few dollars in pristine condition, there is potential for this value to grow over time, particularly as older coins continue to disappear from circulation. In 20 to 30 years, some experts believe uncirculated 2009 pennies could be worth upwards of $50 to $100 or more. Though it might seem like just a small copper-plated coin, the 2009 Canadian 1-cent coin represents the end of an era. As one of the last pennies to be minted before the discontinuation of the coin in 2012, it holds significant historical value. Collectors who understand the long-term potential of this piece may find that the 2009 penny grows in both value and prestige as the years go on. If you come across a 2009 Canadian penny in your pocket or coin collection, hold on to it. It could be a future treasure waiting to increase in value, providing both a financial return and a connection to Canada's rich numismatic history. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the 2009 Canadian 1-cent coin. If you enjoyed learning about its history and potential value, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more coin insights. Let us know in the comments if you have a 2009 penny in your collection, or if you've found any rare variations that we should cover in a future video. Happy collecting! Welcome to another exciting episode on rare coins and their fascinating history. Today, we dive deep into the captivating story of a true numismatic treasure, the 1971 Canadian 1-cent coin. If you're a coin collector, history enthusiast, or simply someone intrigued by the hidden value of everyday objects, this video is for you. Stick around as we uncover the origins of this remarkable coin, its full historical significance, and most importantly, its potential worth. Canada's currency history is as rich and diverse as the country itself. The 1-cent coin, often referred to as the penny, was a cornerstone of Canadian currency for more than 150 years. Before delving into the details of the 1971 penny, Let's take a quick look at the origins of Canada's 1-cent coin. The first Canadian 1-cent coin was introduced in 1858, during the reign of Queen Victoria. Back then, it was much larger and heavier, made of pure copper. Over the years, the design and material of the penny have undergone several changes. By the time we reached the 1971 issue, the penny had already been an iconic part of Canadian life, but the coin itself was much smaller and made from a different composition. So, what makes the 1971 1-cent coin special? Let's begin by examining its design. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by artist Arnold Machin. This profile of the young queen has graced Canadian pennies since 1965. It features Her Majesty wearing a laurel wreath, and it's one of the most recognizable royal depictions in Canadian coinage. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the iconic maple leaves symbolizing Canada's rich natural heritage. The reverse design, created by G. Kruger Gray, was first introduced in 1937 and continued until the penny's final year in 2012. The two maple leaves are paired on a twig, representing strength and unity, the perfect emblem for a nation that values both. Now, let's talk about the composition of the 1971 penny. It was minted using 98% copper, 0.5% tin, and 1.5% zinc, giving it a distinctive reddish hue that copper coins develop over time. The coin has a diameter of 19.05 mm and weighs 3.24 grams. These specs remained consistent for several years before the penny's material composition shifted in later decades. The year 1971 was an important period in Canadian history. Politically and culturally, the nation was going through significant changes. Pierre Trudeau was serving as Prime Minister, leading the country with his vision of a just society. Canada had recently celebrated its centennial in 1967, and the spirit of nationalism and identity was strong. In terms of currency, inflation and rising metal costs were becoming issues for many nations, including Canada. Though the penny remained in circulation, its production costs were starting to rise, setting the stage for future debates about its usefulness and eventual discontinuation. The 1971 1-cent coin was minted in Ottawa by the Royal Canadian Mint. A total of 309,825,000 pennies were struck that year, which makes it a fairly common coin in terms of overall circulation. However, like any minted coin, certain rare variations can significantly affect its value to collectors. Errors and variations in coin production can lead to small differences in appearance. These are known as mint errors. Some 1971 pennies have been found with minor die cracks, misaligned strikes, or double-struck errors, all of which can increase a coin's rarity and value. Now to the part everyone's been waiting for. How much is the 1971 Canadian penny worth today? In terms of face value, it's still 1 cent. However, its collector value can be much higher depending on its condition. In general, a circulated 1971 penny in average condition may only be worth around 5 to 20 cents to a collector, due to its common mintage. But if the penny is in uncirculated condition, its value can jump significantly. Finding a pristine, uncirculated coin from 1971 might seem difficult, but they do exist. Many collectors scour online marketplaces, auctions, and coin shows, hoping to find these hidden treasures. Always keep an eye out for a certified coin from trusted grading companies, as these coins tend to fetch the highest prices. While the penny was officially discontinued by the Canadian Mint in 2012, its legacy lives on. The 1971 penny is a perfect symbol of a bygone era in Canadian currency, and as time goes on, its value may continue to rise, especially for collectors who recognize the historical and cultural significance of coins like these. Collectors often believe that older coins, especially those minted in years of significant historical events or in limited quantities, will become more valuable with time. The copper content of the 1971 penny also adds an intrinsic value, as copper prices fluctuate and become more precious. So, what's the true worth of the 1971 Canadian penny? While its face value may only be a single cent, its worth to collectors can range from a few dollars to much more, depending on its condition and rarity. But beyond monetary value, the 1971 penny holds a piece of Canada's rich cultural and economic history, a testament to a time when the penny was still an essential part of everyday life. Whether you're looking to sell, buy, or simply appreciate the coins in your pocket, remember, every coin tells a story. And sometimes, it's worth more than you might think. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, their fascinating history, and their hidden value, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments if you've got a rare coin in your collection. Who knows? Your penny might just be worth a fortune. Keep an eye out for high-grade, uncirculated 1971 pennies. Mint errors and rare varieties are worth significantly more. The copper composition of pre-1997 pennies adds an intrinsic value due to the metal's worth. With time, even common 1971 pennies could see a rise in collector interest, especially as older coins become harder to find in mint condition. This detailed script ensures that the video will both educate and engage viewers, offering them valuable insights into the 1971 Canadian penny's history, design, and potential value. Hello, coin collectors and history lovers. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of Canadian coins, and we're focusing on a classic piece, the 1987 1-cent Canadian coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin holds a lot of history, value, and hidden gems that might surprise you. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know everything about this coin, including its origins, historical significance, unique features, and of course, its value and worth in today's market. Let's take a journey back to 1987. It was a year marked by significant events in Canadian history and worldwide. Brian Mulroney was the Prime Minister of Canada, leading the nation through a period of economic growth. Internationally, 1987 saw major developments like the signing of the Canada-US Free Trade Agreement, setting the stage for economic partnerships between these two North American powerhouses. But while the political and economic scenes were evolving, something much smaller but no less important was happening in Canadian minting history: the production of the 1987 1-cent coin. The 1987 1-cent coin, also known as the penny, features one of the most iconic designs in Canadian coinage history: the maple leaf. Designed by G. Kruger Gray in 1937, the maple leaf twig has been a symbol of Canada's national pride and identity. The design hadn't changed for decades, but its simplicity and symbolism remained powerful throughout Canadian history. On the obverse side of the coin, we see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, Canada's reigning monarch at the time. This portrait, created by Arnold Mackin, depicts the Queen wearing a laurel wreath, a nod to classical history. It was a common feature on Canadian coins from 1965 until 1989, making this version of the coin part of a long-standing tradition. The 1987 1-cent coin was produced by the Royal Canadian Mint, which is responsible for creating all of Canada's circulation coins. That year, the Mint produced an astounding number of pennies. Around 784,476,000 of these coins were struck. That's nearly 750 million coins. Interestingly, the 1987 1-cent coin was produced in two locations, the Ottawa Mint and the Winnipeg Mint. Coins minted in Winnipeg were more common, but Ottawa minted coins can sometimes hold a bit more value to collectors, especially if they're in pristine condition. These coins were struck using copper-plated zinc, which had become the standard composition for the penny by the mid-1980s. Previously, Canadian pennies were made primarily of bronze, but rising metal costs and a desire for more cost-effective production led to the shift to zinc with a copper plating. Now, while most 1987 pennies may seem identical, collectors know that small variations can make a big difference in a coin's value. Let's talk about some features that could significantly increase the value of your 1987 penny. One of the most sought-after variations in the 1987 1-cent coin is the double die error. This occurs during the minting process when the coin is struck twice, slightly out of alignment, creating a noticeable doubling of certain details. In particular, collectors look for doubling on the date 1987 or in the Queen's portrait. If you happen to have a double-die 1987 penny, you could be looking at a significantly more valuable coin. Like most coins, The condition of your 1987 penny plays a huge role in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, uncirculated coin. Most pennies you'll find in circulation are well worn and will be in lower grades like VG very good or F fine. However, if you have a coin in MS mint state condition, meaning it's virtually untouched and in pristine shape, its value can jump exponentially. While the standard circulation 1987 penny was made in massive quantities, there are also proof coins that were made for collectors. Proof coins are struck using specially polished dies, giving them a mirror-like finish. These coins were never meant for circulation and were sold in special sets by the Royal Canadian Mint. If you have one of these proof pennies, its value can far exceed that of the standard circulating coin. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for: the value of the 1987 1-cent Canadian coin. You might be surprised to learn that despite the fact that millions were minted, certain versions and conditions of this coin can fetch a nice sum of money. If you have a 1987 penny that has been in circulation and shows noticeable wear, it will generally be worth 1 to 5 cents. These are the most common types of coins and, while they're not worth much individually, they are still collectible due to their historical significance. If you happen to have a 1987 penny in MS65 condition, meaning it looks brand new and untouched by human hands, its value can range between $1 and $10. While this may not seem like a huge amount, remember that pennies in this condition are much rarer and could potentially rise in value over time. As mentioned earlier, if you have a 1987 penny with a double die error, the value could jump significantly. Depending on the severity and location of the error, such coins can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100s. These coins are highly sought after by error coin collectors, and finding one could be like striking gold for proof versions of the 1987 penny. Values are much higher. Proof coins in perfect condition can be valued anywhere from $5 to $50 depending on their rarity and demand. While the 1987 penny may not make you a millionaire overnight, it's important to consider its long-term investment potential. As fewer and fewer pennies remain in circulation due to Canada's decision to phase out the penny in 2012, coins like the 1987 1-cent piece will only become rarer. Over time, this could lead to significant increases in value for higher-grade coins, proof coins, and error coins. Collectors who are patient and hold on to their coins for several decades may find their collections appreciating in value. Beyond its monetary value, the 1987 1-cent Canadian coin holds a special place in Canadian culture and history. The penny has long been a symbol of thrift, frugality, and everyday life in Canada. For generations, Canadians used the penny for small purchases, saving them in jars, and even for good luck. By the time 1987 came around, the Canadian penny had already been a staple of the nation's economy for over a century. The maple leaf design, in particular, has become an enduring symbol of Canada's natural beauty and national pride. When the penny was phased out of circulation in 2012, many Canadians felt a sense of nostalgia for this small but significant coin. In that sense, the 1987 penny isn't just a piece of metal. It's a piece of Canadian history and culture that connects us to a time when life was simpler and pennies were still part of everyday transactions. So there you have it, a complete breakdown of the 1987 1-cent Canadian coin, from its rich history to its hidden value in the numismatic world. Whether you're a casual collector or someone looking to dive deeper into the world of coins, the 1987 penny is a fantastic piece to add to your collection. Keep an eye out for error coins, high-grade pennies, and proof sets because you might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth looks into coins from around the world. And as always, happy collecting! Welcome to our coin collecting journey, where today we dive deep into the fascinating world of the 1995 D1 Liberty Cent. You may have one of these coins in your pocket, but do you know its true value and the rich history it carries? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know everything from its historical significance to the rare versions worth big money, old footage or graphics showing the US Mint's operations in the 1990s, along with historical photos of coin designs the 1 Liberty cent, also known as the Lincoln cent, is a piece of American history that first came into existence in 1909, marking the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, the coin's obverse prominently features Lincoln's profile, making it the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. Fast forward to 1995, and the Lincoln cent was still an everyday coin but with subtle differences that collectors prize. 1995 marked an interesting time in American coin minting history. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of cents annually to meet public demand. The 1995 Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, stands out due to its large production numbers. Over 7 billion were struck. But just because billions were made, that doesn't mean each one is identical. Subtle minting errors and special editions from this year make the 1995 cent a coveted piece in the numismatic world. The 1995 Lincoln cent carries the familiar design that we've come to know and love. On the obverse, we see Lincoln's portrait facing right, with Liberty to the left and the date 1995 to the right. Beneath the date is a small D mint mark, signifying that this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint. And of course, at the top, the iconic phrase "In God We Trust" is inscribed. On the reverse, we have the Lincoln Memorial, which replaced the original wheat ears design in 1959. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny representation of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, an incredible detail for such a small coin. The inscriptions on the reverse include United States of America at the top, E pluribus unum above the memorial, and the denomination 1 cent at the bottom. Animation showing the minting process, coins being struck, and magnified views of mint errors. Every year, millions of coins are minted at various facilities like Denver, Philadelphia, and San Francisco. However, no minting process is perfect, and small errors sometimes slip through the cracks, making certain coins more valuable to collectors. The 1995 Lincoln cent is no exception. Coins with minting errors like off-center strikes, doubled dies, or weak strikes are highly sought after. One of the most famous minting errors for 1995 is the doubled die error, where the die that strikes the coin produces a slightly doubled image. Although the most well-known doubled die error occurred at the Philadelphia Mint, it's always worth checking any 1995 cent for rare and unique errors that might add immense value. So, what is the 1995 1 Liberty cent worth today? In circulated condition, this coin is generally worth face value, just 1 cent. However, if you find one in uncirculated condition, the value begins to climb. Uncirculated examples, especially those graded highly by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch between $5 and $20, depending on the coin's condition. However, where things get really exciting is when we talk about high-grade coins. A 1995 Lincoln cent graded MS67, meaning it's nearly flawless, has been known to sell for upwards of $200. And if you discover a 1995 cent with a rare mint error, the value could skyrocket even more, making it a coin that collectors are willing to pay big money for. Show magnifying glasses, coin graders, and online coin forums where people discuss coin values. If you want to determine if your 1995 Lincoln cent is worth more than just 1 cent, you'll need to start by closely examining the coin's condition. A coin's grade is key to its value. Look for coins with minimal wear, clear and sharp details, and strong luster. Using a magnifying glass or microscope can help reveal any minting errors like doubling, cracks, or other anomalies that could increase the value. Getting your coin professionally graded can provide an official certification that helps you fetch the highest price when selling. Reputable grading companies like PCGS and NGC are the industry standard for coin grading. Alternatively, you can consult online coin forums and coin dealers to get an initial sense of what your coin might be worth. The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American currency for over a century. Collectors are drawn to these coins not just because of their availability, but because each coin tells a part of the American story. The 1995 Lincoln cent may seem like an ordinary coin, but for collectors, it represents a snapshot of U.S. history, minted at the end of a transformative century. Whether you're a casual collector or a seasoned numismatist, The allure of finding a valuable coin among everyday pocket change is irresistible. And with billions of these cents in circulation, there's always a chance that the next valuable find is right in your hands. The 1995 D. Lincoln cent displayed alongside other rare coins, with upbeat music and a closing narration. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of the 1995 D1 Liberty cent. Whether you're checking your own collection or just curious about the value of coins, remember that every coin tells a story, and some of those stories are worth much more than you'd expect. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all things coins. See you next time. Welcome back to my channel, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today, we have a very special coin in the spotlight, the 2002 era 2-cent euro coin from Ireland. Whether you're a collector looking for valuable coins or just someone intrigued by the history behind each piece of currency, this video is for you. By the end, you'll know everything there is to know about this little copper treasure, its history, design significance, and most importantly, its value in today's market. Could this small coin be worth a lot more than just 2 cents? Let's dive in.to understand the 2-cent euro coin. We need to go back to the creation of the euro itself. The euro was officially introduced as a common currency for the European Union on January 1, 1999, although physical coins and banknotes only began circulating in 2002. The euro replaced the national currencies of its member states, unifying their economies under a single currency system. Ireland, or Éire as it's known in the Irish language, was one of the countries that adopted the euro. Prior to this, Ireland used the Irish pound, or punt. Ireland joined the Eurozone in 1999, marking a major shift in its economic history. When the euro coins were issued in 2002, Ireland, like all other member countries, was able to design its own national side for the coins. This meant that while one side of the coin would be uniform across all Eurozone countries, the other side could reflect each nation's unique identity. The design of the Irish 2-cent euro coin is simple, yet rich in symbolism. The reverse side of the coin, common across all Eurozone countries, shows a globe with Europe in the center, surrounded by the 12 stars of the European Union. The design was created by Luc Luix, a Belgian artist, and represents Europe's unity and its role in the global economy. But the real story of this coin lies on the obverse side. The harp, Ireland's national symbol, is prominently featured on all Irish euro coins. This harp, known as the Brian Boru harp, is a centuries-old symbol of Irish sovereignty and cultural heritage. It dates back to the medieval period and is a reflection of Ireland's rich history in music and folklore. The inscription Éire represents Ireland in the Irish language, further reinforcing the coin's national identity. Underneath the harp, the year of minting 2002 is displayed, marking the first year the euro coins were circulated in Ireland. The harp has been used on Irish coinage for centuries, including during the time of the Irish Free State and the Republic of Ireland before the introduction of the euro. Its presence on the euro coins is a continuation of a long tradition, making this coin not just a piece of currency but a link to Ireland's historical identity. Now, let's take a closer look at the technical details of the 2-cent euro coin. The coin is made from copper-plated steel, giving it its reddish-brown color. It weighs exactly 3 grams and has a diameter of 18.75 millimeters. The edge of the coin is smooth, a feature it shares with the 1-cent euro coin. One of the interesting aspects of the 2-cent coin is that it's part of a coinage system designed for practical use. While it may seem small in value, this coin plays an essential role in everyday transactions across Europe. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, the value of this coin. The 2-cent euro coin may seem like a common, everyday piece of currency, but certain factors can significantly increase its worth. Firstly, the condition of the coin is critical. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, known as mint state, will always fetch a higher price than a coin that has been used in everyday circulation. Coins graded as MS65 or higher, those without visible wear, scratches, or other imperfections, can be worth significantly more than their face value. For the 2002 era 2-cent euro coin, values in mint state can range anywhere from €1 to €5, depending on the demand from collectors. However, there are rare instances where these coins can fetch even higher prices at auctions, particularly if they exhibit any unique minting errors. Coins with rare misprints, such as off-center strikes or double strikes, can be considered highly collectible. On the auction market, mint error coins can sometimes fetch hundreds of euros. Although this is rare, it's always worth inspecting your coins carefully for any irregularities. Over time, as Ireland continues to evolve its coinage or possibly reduces the use of low-value denominations, the value of these early euro coins could rise, especially in well-preserved condition. As digital transactions continue to rise and countries like Ireland consider phasing out low-denomination coins like the 1 and 2 cent, the future of these coins remains uncertain. In some countries, such coins are already being rounded out of transactions, which could drive up the collectability of these early euro coins. For collectors, this presents a unique opportunity. As low-denomination coins become less common in circulation, their rarity will increase. The 2002-era 2-cent coin, being part of the first batch of euros introduced in Ireland, has a special place in both history and coin collecting. It's a tangible piece of the early 21st century that tells the story of Ireland's economic integration into the broader European Union. In summary, while the 2002-era 2-cent euro coin may seem like an ordinary piece of change, its historical significance, combined with its potential rarity in uncirculated condition or with mint errors, makes it a valuable asset for collectors. As the future of small denomination coins hangs in the balance, now might be the perfect time to add this little piece of history to your collection. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed learning about the 2002-era 2-cent euro coin and want to discover more hidden treasures in the world of numismatics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Do you have any valuable coins in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. This script offers a comprehensive overview of the 2002-era 2-cent euro coin, focusing on its historical context, design, physical features, and collectability. It positions the coin as not just a piece of currency but a valuable item for collectors due to its symbolic design, historical significance, and potential rarity. Hello, coin enthusiasts and collectors, welcome back to our channel, where we explore the fascinating world of coins, their history, and their potential value. Today, we're diving into the history, value, and significance of a humble yet iconic piece of Canadian currency, the 2003 Canadian 1-cent coin. This seemingly simple coin has a lot of hidden history and can be of great interest to collectors. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, you won't want to miss this detailed exploration of the 2003 Canadian penny. Before we get into the specifics of the 2003 penny, let's take a step back and understand the broader history of the Canadian 1-cent coin. The 1-cent coin, often referred to as the penny, has been a staple of Canadian currency since 1858, when the province of Canada introduced decimal coinage. These early pennies were larger and made from bronze. Over time, the composition and design of the penny evolved, but it remained a symbol of everyday transactions in Canada. By the time we get to the 20th century, the Canadian penny had taken on its familiar small size and copper appearance. In 1937, Canada introduced the famous maple leaf design, which became the definitive image for the penny. This design, created by G. Kruger Gray, featured two maple leaves on a twig, symbolizing Canada's natural heritage and its unity as a nation. This design remained consistent throughout the years, including on the 2003 version of the penny. The year 2003 is an important milestone in the history of Canadian coins, particularly for the penny. It marks a transition year in the design and composition of the coin, making the 2003 penny especially notable for collectors. One of the most significant changes to the 2003 penny is the updated effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. Prior to 2003, Canadian coins featured an effigy of the Queen that had been in use since 1990. Designed by Dora de Petithunt. However, in 2003, the Royal Canadian Mint introduced a new portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Susanna Blunt. This portrait shows a more mature, realistic depiction of the Queen without a crown, a change that symbolized her long reign and connection to the Canadian people. The new effigy is notable not only for its artistic value but also because it marked a shift in how the Queen was represented on Canadian currency. The 2003 penny was the first year that featured this new effigy, making it a key piece for collectors who focus on different portraits of the Queen over the years. Another important change for the 2003 Canadian penny is its composition. Up until 1996, Canadian pennies were primarily made of copper. However, due to the rising cost of copper, the Royal Canadian Mint transitioned to a plated steel composition for pennies starting in 1997. By 2003, the penny was made of 94% steel, 1.5% nickel, and a thin layer of copper plating. This change in composition made the penny lighter and more cost-effective to produce. However, it also created a distinct difference between older, all-copper pennies and the newer, steel-based pennies. Collectors often differentiate between these two types, and 2003 marks an important moment in this transition. Although the 2003 penny itself doesn't mark the end of the Canadian penny, it is part of the final decade of production before the penny was discontinued in 2012. The decision to phase out the penny was made due to its increasing production costs and diminishing purchasing power. By the time it was retired, it cost more than 1 cent to produce a penny, making it economically unviable. This decision by the Canadian government has had a significant impact on the value of Canadian pennies, including the 2003 version. As pennies become scarcer in circulation, collectors are increasingly turning to recent years like 2003 to complete their collections. Now let's talk about the value of the 2003 Canadian penny. While it may not seem like a valuable coin at first glance, certain factors can significantly increase its worth. As with any coin, the condition of the 2003 penny plays a huge role in its value. Uncirculated coins in mint condition are worth more than those that have been heavily circulated. Collectors prize coins that have been well preserved with minimal wear and tear. A 2003 penny in mint state could be worth several times its face value to a collector. Error coins are another factor that can dramatically increase the value of the 2003 penny. These errors can include misstrikes, off-center strikes, and double-die errors. Any anomalies during the minting process can turn a regular penny into a highly sought-after collector's item. If you come across a 2003 penny with such errors, it could be worth a significant amount of money, potentially fetching several $100s at auction depending on the rarity of the error. In 2003, the Royal Canadian Mint also produced proof sets that included the penny. These proof coins are struck with specially polished dies, giving them a mirror-like finish and crisp details. Proof sets are generally sold to collectors and never enter circulation, making them rarer than regular circulated coins. A 2003 proof penny could be worth considerably more, particularly if it's part of a complete set. The 2003 penny is not yet considered rare by numismatic standards, but its value has steadily increased since the discontinuation of the penny in 2012. As fewer of these coins remain in circulation, their scarcity will grow, and so will their worth. Currently, a 2003 penny in uncirculated condition can sell for around 50 cents to $2, depending on its grade and the market demand. Error coins or proof pennies, as mentioned earlier, can be worth much more. However, the future holds a lot of potential for this coin. As time goes on and the penny becomes more of a relic of the past, collectors will likely turn to coins from the final years of production, including 2003, making this a sound investment for the future. Beyond its monetary value, the 2003 Canadian penny holds significant cultural and historical value. It represents a pivotal year in Canadian numismatic history, with its updated portrait of Queen Elizabeth II and its newer steel composition. Collectors who focus on Canadian currency or coins featuring the Queen often seek out the 2003 penny as part of a complete set of portraits. Furthermore, the penny itself is a symbol of Canada's economic past. As the country has moved away from low-denomination coins, pennies like the one from 2003 become a reminder of how everyday transactions used to take place. For many Canadians, the penny holds nostalgic value, and owning a 2003 penny can be a way to hold on to a piece of the nation's history. To sum up, the 2003 Canadian 1-cent coin is a small but significant piece of Canadian numismatic history. With its updated portrait of Queen Elizabeth II and its place in the final years of penny production, it holds value both monetarily and historically. Whether you are a casual coin enthusiast or a serious collector, the 2003 penny is a coin worth paying attention to. As time goes on, its scarcity and cultural significance will only increase, making it a valuable addition to any collection. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the 2003 Canadian penny, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin-related content. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll explore more coins, their history, and their value. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!